Welcome back to the channel Stoicism with Coffee. Let's start by reflecting together. Do you really want to keep being an option, an easily overlooked presence? Maybe you've given so much of yourself that you feel worn out, but today that story begins to change. In this video, you'll learn Stoic methods to help you rediscover your worth without needing to beg for anyone's attention. The idea here isn't to manipulate or deceive. It's about understanding and respecting the power of your presence so others can. We're not talking about playing games of attraction. Instead, we'll focus on an internal change that directly affects how others perceive you. The strategies you're about to learn are based on self-awareness and emotional control, which are pillars of Stoicism. Becoming an unforgettable presence starts with valuing yourself, and Stoicism teaches how to build that confidence naturally. For those tuning in for the first time, these habits were carefully developed to create real and deep transformation. They require patience, but when applied sincerely, they'll help you see your life with new eyes. Even more, they'll make others feel your presence even when you're not the. So let's get into the first habit, which will help you stop being constantly available to those who don't value you as you deserve. Technique 1. Silent retreat. Have you noticed how people often only value something when they feel its absence? This is the power of the silent retreat. We often get used to always being available, but this constant accessibility can decrease our value in others' eyes. By practicing the silent retreat, you take a step back, creating space for others to feel your absence. It's not about disappearing, but about all. This technique is incredibly powerful because it challenges the need to always be present. When you step back, something changes. The absence is like a song that suddenly stops playing. The silence grabs attention. This space you create brings a pause that makes others appreciate your importance. When you're always available, you become predictable and easy to overlook. The silent retreat is about self-control. It means controlling your impulses to always be available and respond instantly. By resisting that urge, you show self-sufficiency and resilience. This habit isn't meant to punish others. It's a self-respect exercise. By demonstrating that you're not constantly reachable, you reinforce the idea that your time is valuable and that others need to appreciate each moment they have with you. Why does it work? Because people tend to value what's rare. When you practice the silent retreat, you give others the opportunity to feel your absence and recognize the impact you have in their lives. This technique creates a contrast between what was once common and what is now scarce. And when you return, your presence is far more valuable because they remember the void you left behind. Write in the comments, "I am essential." By reaffirming your worth, you strengthen this mentality within yourself and to others. Remember, what you offer isn't something that can be found just anywhere. Now let's move on to the second technique, which will plant a seed of doubt about the other person's role in your life. Technique 2, the seed of doubt. To capture someone's attention and keep it on you, it's important to challenge their sense of security about their position in your life. The seed of doubt is a subtle yet powerful way to create a need for revalidation. By introducing doubt about their exclusivity, you break the certainty they have about your involvement, sparking curiosity and making them question the role they occupy. This method is simple but requires subtlety. You might mention a compliment you received or a new friendship that brought something positive into your life. It's not about lying or exaggerating, but about showing that your life is appreciated by others as well. This innocent comment plants a seed of doubt that makes the person wonder if they truly have your exclusive attention, or if others also value you. When someone feels their position isn't guaranteed, their natural tendency is to try harder to maintain that importance. It's instinctive. They put in more effort because they see you as someone who is admired and who has options. This behavior fuels a desire to strengthen their own value in your life, because no one likes feeling that they're competing for attention. But everyone wants to be the preferred choice. When you keep this practice light and balanced, you create an atmosphere of curiosity. The person starts reflecting on what they need to do to continue being important to you. This transforms the dynamic between you, making them actively seek your approval. This is self-confidence in action, and there's nothing more attractive than someone who is self-assured and knows their own worth. To strengthen this mindset, comment, "I am desirable." Let this truth resonate within you, creating an aura of self-confidence that naturally attracts others' interest. Now let's go to the third technique, where you'll learn the importance of keeping your time and energy under control. Technique 3, the respect of unavailability. One of the biggest mistakes we make is believing that by always being available, we'll gain others' consideration. But the truth is the opposite. The more you're within reach, the more people get used to it, seeing you as a given presence, not a special one. The respect of unavailability is the skill of managing your time and presence in a way that shows others that your attention is a privilege, not a right. Controlled unavailability doesn't mean you should completely distance yourself. Rather, it means prioritizing your activities, interests, and passions. When you engage with your own projects and make it clear that you have a rich and fulfilling life, it creates an effect of exclusivity. People start to see each moment with you as something special, not something banal or predictable. By practicing unavailability, you reinforce that your time has value. Instead of rushing to answer messages or canceling plans to be with someone, stick to your priorities. When you respect and value your own schedule, others start to recognize that your time is precious. This habit generates respect and admiration, as it shows that you're someone who knows what you want and doesn't bend to others' whims. The magic of this technique lies in creating a desire to be with you, rather than just being there. When a person realizes they have to make an effort to have access to you, your presence becomes much more valued. This appreciation grows from the understanding that you're in control of your life, and that they need to be a part of it in a respectful way. To affirm this inner value, comment, "My time is precious." This is a message you should repeat to yourself and make clear to others. Let's move on to Technique 4, where we'll explore the power of vulnerability with responsibility. Technique 4, the touch of vulnerability. When used consciously, vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools for creating genuine connections. Being vulnerable isn't about fully exposing yourself. It's about showing a human side that few get to see. However, there's a fine line between sharing a part of yourself and letting others use it as a weakness. The idea here is to reveal just enough for the other person to feel they have access to something special, without ever losing control of how much you share. People connect with those who feel real, who have layers and stories. By allowing someone to see a bit of your vulnerability, you create a space for empathy and closeness. But beware. Using vulnerability excessively can lead others to feel that you're dependent. So, the key is to share something personal without showing that you're dependent on the other person's understanding or acceptance. This balance between openness and self-sufficiency creates a controlled sense of intimacy. When you reveal a meaningful detail about yourself, something deeper than appearances, the person feels special for being part of that moment. But right after, you should step back, avoiding lingering on that topic or making it a constant focus. By stepping back, you maintain a healthy distance and clarify that, even though you shared something personal, you aren't someone easily deciphered or vulnerable to the point of depending on others' approval. This skill subtly reinforces the value of your presence. Additionally, this practice of measured vulnerability sparks in the other person a desire to deepen the connection to learn more about you. It's like giving a glimpse into a story they want to discover, and this curiosity makes them think of you even when you're not there. The beauty of this process lies in keeping parts of yourself hidden, showing that there's more beneath the surface, creating a mystery that others feel compelled to unravel. To reinforce this balance between strength and vulnerability, comment, "I am strong and human." This reminder is essential for maintaining confidence in your ability to create bonds without losing control over who you are. Let's move on to Technique 5, where you'll learn the importance of keeping mystery in your interactions. Technique 5, climate of uncertainty. People are naturally attracted to mystery and the unknown. When you reveal yourself completely, you leave little room for imagination and curiosity. The climate of uncertainty is a powerful technique to maintain an aura of mystery around you, giving others the feeling that there's still much to discover about you. This uncertainty piques interest and makes people work harder to understand who you really are. One of the biggest mistakes we make in relationships is believing that by showing everything we'll be more understood and accepted. In reality, the opposite can happen. When you leave small gaps, a touch of mystery, the other person feels that there's something deeper they haven't yet grasped. This feeling keeps them intrigued, almost as a challenge, to understand each layer of you. And this continuous pursuit makes them think of you constantly. Maintaining this uncertainty doesn't mean becoming distant or inaccessible. Rather, it means choosing what you reveal and what you prefer to leave open. This can be done through subtle gestures, pauses in conversation, or even small changes in your reactions. By not being entirely predictable, you become someone who fascinates. After all, what's familiar tends to become common, while what's uncertain and intriguing occupies a special place in others' thoughts. The climate of uncertainty, then, is an ability to stay unique and captivating. It makes the other person want to keep seeking clues, trying to understand what's behind what you choose to show. By maintaining this aura, you become a strong and memorable presence, effortlessly. Mystery has the power to captivate attention, and uncertainty keeps the other person focused on every detail of your actions and words. To reinforce this practice, write in the comments, "I am a mystery." This serves as a reminder that you don't need to reveal everything to be memorable. Now, let's move on to Technique 6, where you'll learn the importance of limiting your accessibility to increase your value. Technique 6. Lack of access. Being constantly accessible can, over time, reduce the value of your presence. This happens because the more available you are, the more others get used to that ease and may begin to see your presence as given rather than special. The lack of access is a Stoic technique aimed at preserving your time and attention, showing that both are valuable and limited. Thus, when you do make yourself available, each interaction becomes special and memorable. The secret of this technique is learning to be selective. This doesn't mean ignoring or distancing yourself from those around you, but rather choosing the moments and circumstances to be present. This unavailability creates a sense of exclusivity, and exclusivity generates value. Imagine that you respond to every message and call instantly. Over time, others will assume that you're always within reach, and they may not give your time the attention it deserves. When you make yourself less accessible, people start to value every moment they have with you because they realize your attention isn't something guaranteed. This is the power of scarcity. What's rare, exclusive, and limited becomes more precious. By keeping this posture of selectiveness, you create a dynamic in which others actively seek your company because they understand they need to earn your time and attention. The lack of access isn't about playing hard to get, but rather about valuing what you have to offer. Your presence is a gift, and it's important for those around you to perceive that. Remember that time is a non-renewable resource, and by being selective, you demonstrate that you respect it. This not only boosts your self-confidence, but also reinforces in others the desire to be by your side. Comment below, "I am rare." This is a powerful reminder that you're not just anyone and that you deserve to be treated with consideration and respect. Now let's move on to Technique 7, where you'll learn the importance of amplifying doubt to create a lasting presence. Technique 7. Elevated doubt. If you want to occupy someone's mind and make them work to keep you around, it's essential to create a healthy dose of doubt. Elevated doubt is the practice of giving subtle hints that, while you value the person, your life remains full and rich without them. This type of uncertainty encourages the other person to value your presence even more and invest in you to secure their importance in your life. After all, what's too certain loses value, while what seems uncertain becomes more desirable. The idea isn't to play with emotions or create unnecessary jealousy. Instead, it's about showing that you're someone with a life filled with interests, hobbies, and relationships that don't revolve exclusively around this person. For instance, in conversation, you might mention spending time with friends or exploring new projects. This simple act creates a slight doubt that makes the other person realize your attention isn't guaranteed. This elevated doubt inspires the other person to put more effort into maintaining a special position in your life. By seeing you as an independent person valued by others, they're naturally inclined to maintain this unique connection. It's a way of reminding them that your presence is a privilege, not an obligation. This dynamic reinforces the importance of your individuality and value and creates a more respectful and solid bond. The beauty of this technique lies in its subtlety. There's no need to broadcast your activities or exaggerate. Small, well-placed details are enough to create this atmosphere of uncertainty. This lets others appreciate your time because by understanding that you have other sources of attention and affection, they're encouraged to invest more in you, heightening their respect and regard for your presence. To anchor this principle in your mind, comment, "I am unforgettable." This is an affirmation that reminds you of the unique and valuable presence you bring to any relationship. Technique 8. Future bonds. People naturally feel emotionally connected to things they visualize in the future. When you subtly mention plans that involve the other person, you're creating an emotional anchor that reinforces the idea of an ongoing relationship. This technique, called future bonds, is about inserting the idea of a shared tomorrow without appearing forced or anxious. It's a powerful way to keep the other person connected to you spontaneously. Imagine you're chatting and you casually say, "We should try that new restaurant sometime," or "I'd love to see your reaction to this movie that's coming out." These small comments plant a subconscious idea that you're part of the person's future, which creates a more lasting emotional connection. Even though these future plans are vague, they have a positive effect, keeping the person thinking about you beyond the present moment. When you suggest an activity or event in the future, you encourage the other person to anticipate and look forward to your company on different occasions. This creates a feeling of continuity, giving them the impression that you're a stable presence in their life, someone who's there to share experiences. This expectation makes them emotionally invested, building a connection that goes beyond the present. The future bonds technique not only strengthens the connection, but also encourages the other person to want to be with you for meaningful moments. This nurtures a sense of belonging and exclusivity. By making these small projections, you show that you value the relationship and see potential in spending time together, which makes the other person value your presence even more. To deepen this connection, comment, "I am part of their future." This affirmation reinforces the idea that you're not just here for now, but have a lasting place in their life. Now let's move on to Technique 9, where we'll discuss the power of controlling the narrative of your own life. Technique 9. Control of your own narrative. The final technique is perhaps the most crucial: control of your own narrative. What does this mean? It means that you decide how you want to be seen, and you don't let others' insecurities or anxieties dictate your actions. This Stoic practice is fundamental to establishing a personal value that is strong, authentic, and resilient. Controlling your own narrative is knowing exactly who you are and communicating that in a way that makes others respect your space, time, and worth. We're often influenced by what people expect or want from us, but true power lies in staying true to yourself. When you take control of your narrative, you show the world that you're not here to please everyone or to conform to others' expectations. This stance reflects self-sufficiency and sends the message that you're a person with your own values, dreams, and boundaries, someone who doesn't bend to external pressures. This technique also involves silencing self-doubt and reinforcing confidence in your own journey. By controlling your narrative, you avoid letting others' behaviors dictate your actions. If someone takes a long time to reply or seems uninterested, that doesn't change who you are or diminish your value. By maintaining confidence in yourself, you project a strong, independent image, making people see you as someone respectable and secure. When you're clear about who you are and what you want, people around you start treating you according to that image. Control of your own narrative is the key to building healthy and balanced relationships, where you're respected for who you are and not for who others want you to be. This control creates a solid foundation that no one can shake, an identity that radiates self-confidence and isn't dependent on external validation. To anchor this mentality, comment, "I am my priority." This is the finishing touch on your journey of Stoic self-knowledge. Reinforcing this message to yourself daily is the key to maintaining self-worth in any situation. These were the 9 Stoic habits to help you regain your value and become unforgettable. Each technique, when applied with awareness and care, has the power to transform the way you relate to others, and most importantly, to yourself. These habits aren't just momentary tricks, but self-empowerment practices that can create a lasting impact in your life. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more videos about self-awareness and personal empowerment, please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch our upcoming content. And now, while you're here, check out the next video that's appearing on your screen. It has more tips to keep evolving and strengthening your self-confidence. Thank you for being with us, and see you in the next video.